Maybach music.
Call me. You want to get your cake? Call me. You want your cheese sticks? Call me. Everyone ready to fire and clap.
I want a dude with the wickedest slang. I need a 1, 2, 3, holla man.
Give me the girl with the wickedest love.
Out in the street, they call it murder.
It's murder. Mikel Arteta is out here committing murder and our title hopes. And we just have to, I don't want to say hold it, but you know what I'm saying. We have to just sit back and relax and just hope that there is a smidge of balls on these players, that they can overcome the manager and go on to win this Premier League title. But the hell with all that. Big up to E. Ross. Big up to the Don that he is. Don't even have a compliment queued up for the E. Ross. That's what he does to people. We don't run out of words to describe that guy. Man like E. Ross, man. Big him up every time. Twice. And I mean twice. On a Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon on the East Coast, as you would have it. I hope the weather is getting better for you, man, out there. Weather is good out here on the West Coast. Not bad at all. And if the ACL wasn't completely gone, I'd be outside in the streets kicking ball this morning, relieving some stress for the stress that we're about to get put under tomorrow. Now, if you all remember, if you can't win, don't lose, right? That's the quote from the Declan Rice interviewer from the Outpresser. If you can't win, don't lose, which I fuckery to begin with, right? Not a sentiment altogether, but in context. For example, we just watched Leeds go to Aston Villa, go to Villa Park, and we're up 1-0 for the majority of the game. Now, most people didn't pick Villa to beat Leeds. Most people didn't. Not even myself. Most people didn't predict Leeds to beat Villa, to include myself. Now, Villa find themselves in a situation where they're down a goal early. Right? Cool. Leeds could have won. Should have won. But Leeds can leave that game saying, if you don't win, don't lose. That's acceptable for Leeds. Because you're Leeds. You're a newly promoted team and you're trying to stay up. But if you're Arsenal at the G-Tech Stadium talking about if you can't win, don't lose. No. Unacceptable. No. We are not Leeds. All right? Talking about leaving the Molyneux, if you can't win, don't lose. No, that's not acceptable. I'm sorry. You have to win those games, especially when you are leading in those fixtures. You know what I mean? It's mad. Now, just 1 second, people, while I glimpse over across the YouTube spaces and see if I'm going to see if Yasser TV has his Chelsea reaction up already, because the game's been over for a couple of minutes. And look at that. Look at it. No, lo and behold, nothing. Silence over there. And I see man get match reactions up for Arsenal games while the damn game is still going on. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm telling you, I see shit in these spaces that I'm calling out, you know. I'm looking at Yasser TV. I don't see any Chelsea reaction, and you just fucking lost at home to goddamn Burnley. But whenever Arsenal play, man, they get their reactions up quicker than mine, and I'm an Arsenal guy. You know what I'm saying? But when their own shit team play shit, they have nothing to say. This is why when these men come over here, you know, proper Chelsea Dan and Yasser TV and all them, man, I just sidestep the shit out of them. I big them up as content creators, but as fans of their own team, they're full of shit. And I'll call them out. Call it like I see it. Don't see it. Don't see an upload reaction from him. But I guarantee you tomorrow versus Tottenham, if we don't win the game, he'll have a reaction up before the goddamn final whistle goes. Call these men out by name as we see it. Yasser TV, proper Chelsea Dan. Where are you? Where's your match reaction, guy? Come on now. Don't use my club for clicks and views when your shit club gives you more content to talk about that you just refuse to do it. Yes. Now back to the stream. Big up to Latvian Guna, man. Hope you are good, my brother. Pardon my little rant there. If we lose to Spurs or even draw, sack him in the tunnel or on the pitch or in the post-match presser. Yeah. As long as he doesn't come back. Right? We can't have him managing against Chelsea, Brighton, and all these other games if he can't get us up for Tottenham. Big up to Latvian Guna, man. Yeah, man, I was a little late, man. I was sorting out my coffee. You know. I normally drink it black, but I was forced to put a little bit of milk into it. You know what I'm saying? Big up to this guy, man. E motherfucking Ross, man. Just because he's E Ross. Just because he is who the hell he is.
Maybach music.
They can't keep a good man down. Always keep a smile when they want me to frown. It's anything I call
Don't trouble no one. It's like boom, bye, bye, in a body boy head. You wanna promote the nasty man, them a fit dead.
Boom, bye for every Chelsea fan who get match reactions up for Arsenal quicker than they get it up for their own fucking team. I don't even need to call names anymore. They know who they is. They know who they is. Bunch of frauds. Mikel Music. The monsters in the house. Liverpool play tomorrow, don't they? Forest. The big bad Forest who's tearing up Europa League, who beat Liverpool 3-0 earlier in the season, has a chance to further ruin Liverpool's season. What will they do tomorrow? Monster, what you telling me for tomorrow's game? Surely you win that. Yeah. And if I didn't check, I wouldn't even know Quadra because they're not uploading any match reaction for their team. Yes, sir. He's the main offender. He is the main offender in the spaces. Match reaction. Arsenal, Chelsea drop points, crickets. Can't hear a damn thing. Big up. 25 locked in now. The like kind of people. Love. Thank you for being here. Listen to what E-Ross tells you before he come find you. You know what I'm saying? Yep. I got that on in the background. I hope y'all can hear my TV. But yeah, I see the warm-ups and all that's going on. And big up to the New York mom of all moms. Big up to Simone. Love you, mama. Hope you are good. Late afternoon to Guna SC. Big you up, my brother. I hope you are good, man. Mr. Pads, big you up, man. Got that energy. Jada kiss on the essence. Yeah, so we did record yesterday, Mr. Pads. We did record yesterday, but that episode probably won't drop until Monday. So big up to Cav. Did back-to-back Cold Corner podcast. And big up to Mr. Pads, man, for supporting that channel. And your points in the comment section were well taken, my bro. And great points of discussion. So big you up for that. I can tell that you know your stuff at a big boy level. Not a little boy level, but a big boy level. You know what I want? Yeah, man. Big you up. Guna SC said, nah, pissy rain and windy in Dublin these days. Well, stay your ass inside. You know what I want? Big up to the mod god. Someone called for a British guy, and there he is. Big up to Boston Gunner. Did you watch Declan's interview on Sky Sports today? You know what, Boston Gunner? I did not. And I might have to go and watch it. And here's why I purposely did not want to watch it. Because I don't want to hear any talk at this point. Honestly, this point of the season, I don't want to hear anything. I've heard Martin Odegaard speak talking about it's not time to fall apart. It's time to stick together and all this stuff. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear any more talk. No more interviews. Do your talking on the pitch, right? Because I do believe the most effective form of an apology is changed behavior. My girl, if you're going to apologize for cheating, don't tell me you're sorry for cheating. Stop giving the pum-pum. Stop. The only form of apology that I will accept is changed behavior. So you have 90 minutes tomorrow, 95 minutes, 98 minutes to do your apologies, to do your talking. I'm tired of these interviews, and that's why I'm sure Declan probably said some good stuff. But when there's so much PR involved at this club, I don't trust anything, not even him. And I love Deckers, my guy. 8 out of 10 performance in most games this season that he's played. All comps, any comps. He is Declan. So big him up. But unless they're going to change the way they play, change behavior, I don't want to hear the apologies, but I might go watch it. But you can tell me what he said or what you got from it. But that's the reason why I'm reluctant to go watch any interviews. I'm just tired of the kumbaya speeches and the believe and the get behind the team shit. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Big up. Big up to Lynch, man. What would we do without Lynch? Just like the guy DJB says. And big up to the Suge, the big bro. Say big up to Tyron and the chat. Hit the like and subscribe. And the broski coming through with the super chat saying congrats on 2K. Keep being you. My guy, man. My brother. You're far too kind, Uncle Views. Big you up, my G. And you know it's love. We're fighting a good fight. Couldn't, can't, and won't do it without you, my bro. So, tell you what, you keep being you. Because I need you. You know what I mean? No homo, but I need you. Big you up, my brother. Yeah, man, I have to call out the Chelsea fans, especially the content creators. When we drop points, them man have match reactions up before the final whistle is blown, bruv. But no, I don't see shit on Yasha TV. I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing from Matiti. See Jimmy having a meltdown, screaming A. Smith of the YouTube. Big up to Mateo, the real bad man. And the lads, of course. Of course, man, of course. I think this guy is going to play till his whole head is gray. The Godfather, you know. I think James Miller will be like the first, I don't know, maybe I'm speaking out of term here. I don't follow these things much. But has there ever been an active player in the Premier League with grandchildren playing? Don't know. Might have to chat GPT that. That could be one of the quiz for the 2K giveaway that I have to schedule for you legends. But James Milner could literally be the first Premier League player, if one hasn't done it already, to be an active Premier League player with grandchildren. You know what I'm saying? And he looks fitter than the 20-year-olds. You know what I mean? Proper Chelsea. Nah, he was here. He was here all week. Matter of fact, he was here for the preview for Wolves and the post-game meltdown for Wolves. Something tells me I won't see him today. I won't. Man, I thought that has you moving, man, brother. You know, I have to have my wife pull the gray hairs out my beard now because they're popping up faster than usual. Am I the only one that's not a mod on your channel, BBK? Well, say no more. Say no more, Boston Gunner. And I appreciate you reminding me because, you know, I forget. I swear I be forgetting. Sometimes I have to go back in studio if I don't get it while I'm live. Because once I close the studio, I can't do it from StreamYard. And if I type in Boston Gunner, it won't find you sometimes when I go into the YouTube settings by itself. My apologies, man. You got rum in that coffee. Nah, it's just a little bit of 2% milk, my Joe. But you know, I've been up since 6 a.m. Matter of fact, Waffle Down, I caught your Ramadan and Waffle on the Real Wealth and all that stuff, man. That was a pretty good spiel this morning. Big you up, G. The only way we can do anything properly is if these players, to a degree, ignore Arteta's instructions, because it's very evident 9 times it doesn't. And this is what I'm saying. They must do this, bro, because even, for example, if he's already made 3 subs or 4 subs in the second half, it's in the 75th minute of the game, and you see the game getting away from you as the players, do what the hell you want. I'm serious. Go rogue. Go Maverick. Because he's out of subs, and what the fuck is he going to do? Sub all of y'all? Is he really going to yell at these players for not conforming to his losing formula? Because if all the players walk into Arteta's office after they shit the bed in one of these performances and say, Coach, your way isn't working, what's he going to do? Bench the whole team. Your way. So a 9-point lead turned into 2. And it will turn into 2 here in a minute. Today, later on tonight, when City slap up Newcastle. You know what I mean? Gold settings to the boss. That's E-Ross. The boss and the big bro. E-Ross and Suge enter the chat at the same time. You know it's love. Man, Arteta has changing his coffee routine. Right? This club has got me. This club makes me do dumb shit, you know. This club got me kicked out of a hotel in Switzerland for my anniversary in 2023, bro. March 5th, me and my wife are in Zurich for our anniversary. Arsenal are playing. It was the Bournemouth game, I think. Remember the Reese goal? Reese! That one. We're down 2-0 to Bournemouth. Manager ain't doing nothing. And I'm like, brother, do something. We're getting overran. It was either that or we were at Anfield when we were up 2-0. Can't remember the game. But I knew I had to go find another damn hotel in Switzerland, which is a very expensive place to find a hotel last minute. And full disclosure and accountability, I deserve to be kicked out because they had warned me over and over again, Mr. Chambers. I was so frustrated and I was so irate. Brother. The black currant one, the national alcoholic drink with coffee, has blessed heaven. I tell you what, the national drink for black people in America is Hennessy. VSOP. You know, very superior, old pale. VSOP. I fucks with it. It's my shit. Love, Simone. Appreciate you checking in. Appreciate you. Big up to E. Ross, man. J Lux. Big up to J Lux, man. See you, Jim Jones. Wildin'. Oi, oi. Oi. Big up, man. And big up to J Lux, man. It's good to put a face to the name. I seen J Lux yesterday on Gianni's channel. Big up to J Lux every time. One has that respect. Oh, he did. Okay, finally. I hope his ass heard me too. I hope. Because you know what? You see the 43 seconds ago, it would be a whole 5 minutes earlier tomorrow if it's a bad result for Arsenal. Yeah, man. You have to fully on this tax, man. Pussy old shit. I want to see a 3-0 or 4-0 win tomorrow. You want revenge? 3-0. It could be a 3-0, 4-0, but you didn't specify who you want to see win. 3-0 sounds like you might want Forrest to slap you for 3 so he can get sacked. Because I know you fully out. Saw James from Gooniverse drop some simp numpty ass open letter to Mikhail. What type of shit is that? So he's doing the Ted Cotterhill thing. Remember Ted Cotterhill wrote Arteta a poem to start the season off. The Gooniverse guy. It's not the end of the world. That guy, I know y'all get tired of hearing me say that shit, but I've been preing him since season start. Now he can run behind Turkish all he wants to from AFTV, but you can't hide your energy, bro. Man can't hide their energy. Like the top Gooner energy takes over when they try to get critical of Mikhail. Man will talk a whole lot of shit about Mikhail, but when we win a game on Sunday, this is going to be the energy.
Man, big up everyone. Where's all the Arteta chat now? I need to hear. Oh, bro, that's
No. He wants Arteta out yesterday now. I don't know who he's talking to or who he's telling, you know, because they're holier than thou now because they're saying it. We can criticize Mikhail now because they're saying it. But when we were telling Mikhail was shit, we were told to shut up, yeah? So, yeah, that damn James, I won't call him a top gooner, but he's got top gooner energy. You know my spiel. And I think everybody who was attached to that AFTV fucking channel has a hint of delusion in them. You have to do work over there. You must. Sympathy letter to Mikhail. Like, brother, we're about to play our 28th Premier League game of the season. If it hasn't happened by now, the attack hasn't clicked, it ain't. If he hasn't trusted Norgard to play him in the 6 for Zubimendi by now, he won't. That's why Zubimendi looks like he's running with jeans on. He's tired. He's adjusting to a new league. Declan has to do more running to cover his shit. So Declan looks like he's gasping for air at the hour mark every game. And that's where the mistakes come from. You're on edge when the game is only 1-0 in the 60th minute. You're up 2-3-0. You can take it easy. You know what I mean? Appreciate you, broski views, man. It's love. Like United fans open letter. Oh, they did one too. I don't even keep up with that type of stuff, you know. Wesley Fofana now suspended for the Arsenal game on Sunday. Follow it. I mean, that might be a plus for Chelsea because I don't rate that guy, bro. Undisciplined shit. And he was the one that was supposed to be better than Saliba. Rated highly. Yeah. Red card machine. Now are they finally going to admit that they have a discipline problem there? Don't give a damn about team meetings. Do your talking on the damn pitch. 100. And I feel this way about the interview. Team meetings, none of that. You have 90 minutes. You had 90 minutes and 90 minutes and 90 minutes because we're not going over the edge based off the Wolves performance. We were going over the edge of the Man United away performance on match week 1. I have the receipts. I played it yesterday. What's happening to them is what we know what's going to happen to them. They're not that good. They were in a title race in November. Big up to Mr. Cousteau. Yep, they said that, Mateo. They did. Yes, it was in the dugout, though, at the Turf Moor. This might be for the reverse fixture. This game was at Stamford Bridge. They bottled a 1-0 lead. That better be their lead, their title. A very honest reflection on what's going on in the club from that club. Please watch it when you get a moment. He's covered a lot. I tell you what, be a Boston Gunner, I will. At the behest of your request, I will go check it out. But only because you said, not because I want to or anything like that. But I will respect your take on it, and I'll go watch it. And maybe there is something there. But I know you can understand what I'm saying, right? That if they continue to have these team meetings and these on the field huddles and then give us the same performances, then what's the point? You know what I mean? Yeah, just bro. My girl can't give the cheeks away and just keep saying, I'm sorry. Nah, bro. You know, you change behavior. Don't give the cheeks away. That's the solution. You know, shit about to be peak in a couple of hours if City pick up 3 points, VX Gunner. Mikhail having sleepless night. Brother, if City pick up 3 points, then he's walking out and Tottenham tomorrow 2 points ahead. He's scared from the get-go. You see that paranoid look that he had when Wolves scored the first goal. They didn't even equalize yet. When they scored the first goal, that forced him to tell the guys to start wasting time. That scared look, he'll be walking out with that. Yeah? And there was some discussion back and forth about people talking about, I think Positive Dan was saying to Negative Dan that he saw Mikhail telling the players to calm down. And this is what I mean when I say leadership matters, people. How is it that he expects them to calm down when most of the time when they look over there at him, he's the one that's behaving like a petulant little child? And he's just supposed to flip a switch and calm down all of a sudden. Nah, bro. You're over there, you're landing airplanes, you're the ball boy, you're the fifth official, you're doing all this extra shit, but you want to tell them to be calm? Come on. Arteta is kind of like that public defender, that public attorney, that public defender who's assigned to cases that they really don't want and just purposely sends his clients to jail. He doesn't fight for him because he's getting paid by the state regardless. So he just sent that man to jail. People who can't afford a retainer. BBK at 2K and James Milner. What a milestone. Hey, big up for that, E-Ross, man. Thanks to all of you. Every single one of you. Thank you all for being here. And that's why I'm giving back to the community. You know what I'm saying? We're okay. Yeah, I'm sure we can find it on Sky Sports somewhere, man. Big up to the MUA, the MUA. He knows. If you know, you know. The Man United ambassador. Wahaha is with us. Thank you for being here, sir. Big up to Gaza. Gaza, what you telling me? You good, yeah? Big up to Mel. Everyone in the chat. Villa dropped points to Leeds today at home, but we couldn't beat them. Apparently, they're the best team in Europe, I heard. So the thing with Villa, right? And you all heard me speak on Villa. Fuck Villa. I never believed that they were in this title race, and I'm not backing down from that, right? Because going into the run-in and we're just looking at City. Let's looking at City. No one's looking at Villa, and this is why. Like, Unai Emery is not that guy, bro. There's a reason why he'll do good at Sevilla, he'll do good at Villarreal, and he will do a relatively good job at Villa. But there's a reason why he flapped at Arsenal and why at PSG he bottled a four-goal lead in the Champions League to Barcelona. Those are major blemishes on his record. That man lost to like a 10-man Brentford at Villa Park. They went on an 11-game win streak and never saw first place. 33 straight points, and never saw first place. Why is that? That's because they started the first 5 games winless. Now, I don't need to prop up Unai to shit on Arteta. Arteta gives us ammunition all day to shit on him. But a lot of people prop up Emery, use it as a stick to beat Arteta with. Arteta's at the point we don't need to make up shit. He's giving us enough things to criticize him about daily. hourly. This is the Unai Emery tax. Never took them seriously, and this is why. What you saying? Want to trade Porzingis for Fraser? Porzingis. I saw him play the other night, but he doesn't look fit. Wahaha. He does not look fit. He looks like Steve Curry's doing an Arteta rushing man back. Big up to Joins, man. Big you up. Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving it, man. So we probably won't see Brian today, and we won't see a proper Chelsea Dan. We might see Brian though, because Brian is sensible. Proper Chelsea Dan is a madman. I really think he's an insane person, football wise. Yeah, man. But you know what? We beat Tottenham tomorrow. 2-0 comfortable scoreline. He'll be back here saying that he didn't hide. And this is what I'm always going to call him out on it. Now, I'll give him credit that he does show back up eventually, but it won't be without criticism. Did anyone ever call you 36 as in 36 chambers? Now, you know what they called me in basic training in boot camp? They called me gas chambers. Because, part of boot camp, we have to go through NBC training, like nuclear, biological, and chemical training with the mask, right? And they put you in this room and they release this gas. Now, no one knows what's in this gas. So you have to sign all kind of waivers and shit to take part in this training, but you need it to become a soldier. And brother, when I took the mask, you have to, the exercise is you go in there with your mask on, right? You take the mask off and they release the gas. Then you have to hold your breath, put your mask on, and then seal it and get all the shit you breathe in out of it, brother. When they hit me with that gas, if you go to that basic training site right now on Fort Sill, Oklahoma, and that same building, there's bars, there's metal bars on the window now. Those metal bars weren't there in 2001 when I went through the training. You know why? Because I went and jumped out the goddamn window. I jumped out the window and broke all the glass, so they put the metal bars on there. So they called me gas chambers because that shit freaked me the hell out, bro. I couldn't breathe, eyes burning, throat burning. So for my entire boot camp, 9 weeks, I was known as gas chambers. Sideshow story. But y'all know me. I'm an open book. I tell all the stories. Now that I'm retired, I get to look back and laugh at all of them. You know what I mean? Big up, man. Look at all this dab. Look at all this love in the chat. Big up. Big up to Jagans, manners and respect. See that? See that? The level of stupidity in the fan base, 7 years and still blaming the players. No, no, Bertha. They're just skipping over him, innit? At this point, it needs to be studied. I liken it to, if you look at politics and you ever wonder why some politicians are allowed to stay in power so long, just look at the Arsenal fan base and just look at the blind loyalty that they have to Mikel. This is how some of these politicians are able to stay in office for 60 years until they die while doing nothing for the people. Smoking mirrors and broken promises. The interview gives perspective that man went mad in the changing rooms. But this is the thing. We knew Declan was mad because we're mad. When we seen him mad, we seen him cuss on the pitch. What game was that? Fucking shit every time when they caught him lip reading. That wasn't the Brentford game. That was a couple games. That was weeks ago. Yeah? That was weeks ago when he was mad. Big mad. So he was mad then getting caught lip reading on the pitch and then proceed to give us 2 more stinky performances. What game was that? That wasn't the United game. I'm sure it was a while ago that Declan got caught lip reading. So the mad and the mashing up in the dressing room really hasn't changed shit, right? Because we couldn't beat Wolves with a 2-goal lead. It's mad. But no one better not be talking of Villa ever again. Done. Matter of fact, I'll make a got all this shit in my way. I can't even see the table. The Villa will fuck around and finish below Man United. Big up to Mel. Hope you're a good boss lady. Manners and respect to you. Yeah, man. Big up to Gianni for that invite, man. After Shane's stream. Yeah, man. It's always good to put faces to the names of the guys who go around and support the channels. Big you up. And that public defender went to some law school, Phoenix School. Yeah. You remember those DeVry commercials back in the day, Doc? You're just sitting on your couch. Call DeVry University right now. And they were selling these bullshit humanities degrees, 80,000, and people would literally be going $80,000 in debt for some useless degrees just to say they have one and turn their nose up at plumbers and tradesmen, you know? It gives me that vibe, Eros. Like he's there because he just has to be and doesn't really care. You know what I mean? So whether those guys go to jail or they walk, he gets paid from the state. So it doesn't matter. You know? Yeah, man. Big up, man. Big up to Gianni. Oh, did you? All right, man. We'll check that shortly. I will get back to you, J-Lux. Big up. Don't waste your time with that, man. City will be up 2-0 in the first half. Then we'll go for the blitz and blitz it early. Yeah, I will watch it because I'm a football man, innit? Now, normally this time, it comes on at 12:30 p.m. my time. Normally, I'd be out playing football this time, you know, pre-injury. And hopefully in a couple of months, I'll be out kicking ball every Saturday again. But yeah, I'm actually gonna watch it. I'm not gonna lie. Brentford lost to Brighton. Yeah, I watched the first half of that game. Yeah, Brighton put the ball on the ground and played football. Now, you know why Brighton went on to win that game, though? Actually, what did I predict for that one? Let me just have a look. I predicted that one to draw because I was on the Brentford hype, yeah? Because they were at home as well, right? They were at home at the GTEC Stadium. But one of the reasons why Brentford went on to win the damn game is because Brentford didn't score their 2 goals and decided to sit back. Brighton they will play football all the way through. Now, their style of play is consistent, but they get inconsistent results, right? Because the same Brighton team will go lose to Fulham and will go lose to Palace, but they'll beat Villa, they'll beat City, but they'll lose to, you know, Brighton, and they will lose to Palace and Fulham, but then go beat Brentford, what Arsenal couldn't do. Football is mad, you know. Premier League Digest. It swings like that. Where we at? Yeah, man. Big up to Miss Melina. Big up. Put some respect on Cade's name, everybody. He's doing SGA numbers this season. I tell you what, he punked the shit out of us the other night, Mel. I think the boy had like 22 points in the first half, finished with 42. He was scoring threes. He was cooking my New York Knicks. But I think we're gonna beat him in the playoffs, though. I still think we're getting to the finals. The Knicks. Because I actually think the Cavs, the Cleveland Cavaliers, are gonna knock out Detroit, and then we're gonna beat the Cavs. That's what I think. Yeah, but people talk him up to beat Arteta, which I have no problem with. I just have a problem with people using other managers to beat Arteta with. Now, we don't have to do that because it kind of invalidates our criticism when we hype up all these other shit managers just to take a shot of ours when we don't need to. Arteta gives us shit we can criticize him with every day, blood. You know? So when I see like Everton will go beat Villa at Villa Park, right? And people will text me talking about what phase is Moyes in. I'm like, that's stupid. I don't need that to beat Arteta with. Now, when Oliver Glasner lifts the FA Cup, you can text me what phase is he in because that's a trophy-winning win, right? But when David Moyes wins the meaningless game or Sunderland wins a meaningless game, that's going to not lead to anything. And people try to use that to be, I'm like, we don't need any of that. We can keep the criticism valid where we just focus on him and say, he is not that guy. You know, useless. That's what Unai Emery is doing. That's his level. Now, they're going to fuck around and go on and win the Europa. But in the league, he's never had a good record. If you collect 33 points on the bounce, you should see first place at some point, especially when Arsenal haven't been great. When City haven't been great, drawing 4 games in a row and then losing one. Arsenal dropping points left, right, and center. 33 on the bounce and came nowhere near first because your first 5 games, you were winless and goalless. If Arteta started winless and goalless, he would never hear the end of that. But Unai Emery did. The first 5 games, they didn't win any of them. And they weren't scoring goals. So what are they on? Let's keep the criticism valid. it's worth more, holds more weight, more gravitas, and all them something there. Appreciate y'all rocking with me, you know. Doc bigging up everybody. No, but he's the MVP shots, Latvian Gunner. He's going off this season. Yeah, he's doing well. He's not doing well. Now let the record show that he's developed well, because just 2 years ago, this Detroit team had lost like 18 games in a row when Monty Williams was their coach, and they fired Monty, hired this guy, you know, was patient for a year, and bang. Bang, bang, bang. Of course, man. That's what we do over here, J Lux. That's why I see quite a few people try to come into the space, you know, and because they know once this community show love, man, we'll come over here try to pick up a couple of subs, and then when we go into their space, you know, their viewers aren't the same. They don't return the favor. But this is what we do. So big up to J Lux. Yeah, he can stay there. You know, that's E. Ross's Wizards looking like they're on the come up. Okay, I'm glad Cade getting his flowers, but no SGA slander will be taken. You know, he's an NBA champion. You know what I'm saying? Gas chambers, yeah, brother. Stamina with my eyes. When I felt that shit burn my eyes, I just went straight for the window. Exit strategy. Jumped out of that motherfucker. Broke all the glass. The drill sergeants, them men are the most staunch, hardest people. You know, you inject them with a cold and they won't cough. But they were laughing their ass off that day. They've never seen a private jump out the window. I was not going to suffocate today because I feel like I was fucking dying. And as I went on in my career, when I ran across them in the Army, they still called me that. They didn't call me Sergeant Chambers or Chief Chambers. They still called me Gas Chambers. Yeah. But that's a classic album. You know, classic album. The name my surname has come in handy many times. Because even when Callum Chambers played for Arsenal, I would always buy the number 21 kit when I used to buy kits when he was at the club. Because there is no way there's going to be a player named Chambers at the club and I got someone else's name on my back. So I would walk around town, I would go to games, and people would be like, Chambers? This motherfucker bought a Chambers jersey? They would laugh at me. Be like, Chambers, really? But yeah, that's my name. This is a custom-made jersey without the custom-made price. Right? Because a shirt at the Emirates, if you go to the Army, to print your own name or a custom name is another what? Is another 25 quid? Not sure what the price is now, but I was able to get a custom-made jersey for the price of a regular shirt. You know what I mean? Agent Orange or Afghani Toxic Burn Pit, because we know it ain't Granddaddy Perp. Those Afghani burn pits, you know. That takes me to a place. They put like 20 soldiers in a small shack, at least at Fort Dix back in the day. Yeah. Matter of fact, Fort Dix was worse, BX Gunner. Everyone who was in the Army prior to me who went to Fort Dix in Jersey would tell me that, hey, you man getting off easy. Fort Dix was wild. But brother, I jumped straight out the damn window. I couldn't take it. I never play hero when I feel something is wrong. You know, like people try to play hero with the weather. It's cold out now. If it's cold, I bundle the hell up. Cold weather gear, all that shit. Yep, they got, man. So tell him it's not a joke about occult manipulation. Arteta is a politician. Yeah, he speaks so well as a politician, where if you notice that whenever there's a political debate, presidential elections, gubernatorial races and all that type of shit, whenever a politician candidate gets a question that they don't like, they use the P word. They pivot. And Arteta is really good at pivoting from questions. He never pivots from a question that's about win the dog. He never pivots about a question about points accumulated. He never pivots about anything that glazes and praises him. And even when they do that, there's no humility attached to it. But whenever it's a question he doesn't like, he lashes out, pivots, or runs out the interview. You know? Forest game. Okay. Fucking shit every time. Yeah, that's what they call me, Simone. Gas Chambers. And it stuck. Because I'm not going to lie, I earned that title, but I felt like I couldn't breathe and I had to go out that window. I wasn't going to try to play hero and die in front of him. DeVry, the team was right. DeVry, they were all over the TV. They were getting selling these useless degrees, man. Especially they used to target young women and sell them these useless degrees and just kill them with debt. Just so they can say they have a degree and this. I got a degree. I'm strong, independent. I don't need no man. Okay, you got a marketing degree and you're selling phones in the mall. You're selling phones for Sprint and Nextel and shit and Alltel. Remember Sprint? I think T-Mobile bought them out. Hope University. The Hope, man. You can turn anything into a university. Trump had one. Trump University. I think Andrew Tate had a university. If we drop points tomorrow, get ready for announcements of contract. Yeah, another announcement of contracts or some kind of positive spin on how next month we're going into the Champions League because we're top. They have 3 or 4 pivot lanes that they can use, right? They have course of action 1, they have course of action 2, and course of action 3. Course of action 1 may be the contracts. Course of action 2 may be linked with this player and that player in the summer. And course of action C might talk about Champions League or the final that we're going to play on March 22nd. And then if we lose, should we lose or drop points, they will get together and decide which is the best approach, right? They'll test the pulse of the fan base. They'll call Don Robbie, the flagship fan base channel of the fan base, and they'll gauge the pulse of the fan base and decide which avenue they're going to approach the PR with today. Because we've seen it. I was on Football Rig with Sammy the other day, and we were linked with Bastoni and Esposito. I'm like, I didn't even know we were linked with these men. Why are we talking about linked with when we just weakened our squad and loaned out our best number 10 young prospect? Didn't even play yesterday, by the way. They lost 2-0. Not gonna lie, BBK, the injury, and every time I hear this, hopefully the next few months giving me Tomiyasu vibes. I think about this all the time. I was literally thinking this morning. Latvian Guna. When I was like, shit, because they're playing today and they text me all the time, and I felt it, and I was like, nah. and Tomiyasu literally popped up in my head. I said, if this is how he was feeling, I understand why they ripped up his contract. The problem for me is I can run, I can do the bending and all kind of range of motion in my knee. The problem is I just can't take any contact. Any at all. The slightest contact hurts like hell. And these damn Nigerians that I play with, the contact isn't simple. These men are rough. You know what I mean? No, it's Promise School or Promise University. Apply to Hope University where you can earn a first-class degree and coping. 100% BX Gunner. That's what they're on, man. In the dressing room. It's mad. Big up the Red Skull. Arteta need to beat Chelsea and Spurs and Brighton. Then I'm confident in when I don't. This would be the most Arsenal shit ever. Drop points to all these men, then win all these games, or beat Spurs, beat Chelsea, and then drop points to Brighton. Not outside the realm of possibility at all. What winning football wins you games and beats Brentford? Who knew? Attacking opponents give you a big chance. Screw rocket science. Arteta has his own lens, right? He sees things differently. He can smell colors. We can't. So we have to defer to his expertise. Taki, you are nasty, you know. Red Skull say Yardman Emery, Yardman Emery is a bum. And I get it. Like no one hates. I don't want to use hate. Hate is a strong term, but no one wants Arteta gone more than us, right? But I'm always gonna default to the position that I don't need to make up anything to slander his name. I don't need any other manager. Like he can just be shit all by himself. Not shit compared to Emery, compared to Pep, none of that. I've always said we went from one crazy Spaniard to the other. Big up, Pops. Me Pupa. My dad. Big you up, man. And speaking of Gas Chamber, this is Gas Chamber Senior. Gas Chamber Senior, come listen to Gas Chambers Junior talk about Arsenal. Big up, Pops. You're getting daps from the legends. You know what I'm saying? Look at Arteta last season with 14 players, and Arsenal still finished second. And those players, those miles on those players' knees carried over to this season, Red Skull. You know, it all adds up. All the mileage before that timing belt busts. You know what I'm saying? So they add up. He used to teach Mikel that exit strategy. I don't think he's brave enough to jump out the window. He'll stand there and pass out instead of trying to seal his mask. Wizard, the Knicks are the same. It was 73? Walt Clyde Frazier and Willis Reed in them, man. Who is the NBA version of Arteta? Doc Rivers. Yep, there it is. I swear I didn't see this. Wahaha. But yeah, this is it. This man has lost 3-1 leads multiple times with different teams. Yeah? He has and he's got some big jobs, but he did win a championship with Boston, but he has lived off that. That's like Arteta's FA Cup. He's living off that for time. But yeah, he is serial bottler. I'm trying to think of another one. I don't like to let people go unescaped with their buffoonery. But Doc Rivers is the main culprit, the choke away leads. Yeah, I'm having a hard time coming up with another one. Big up to John, proper Chelsea. So we went from I can't find Yasser and them other man, but we found another Chelsea fan. So big up, man. Appreciate you. But I'm leaning to the wrong side. I probably need to rearrange my background to put my circus, make my circus more visible, you know. But yeah, it's definitely Doc Rivers. Perfect. Yep. So they got rid of a doctor in Philadelphia and got a nurse. They got Nick Nurse there now, who won a championship with Miss Melina's team in 2019. I can't stand the fucking got the Bucks, please. He is terrible, man. He is terrible. I'm not gonna lie. He needs 3 Hall of Famers to win. Them kit prices in the UK and elsewhere ain't no joke. Jaja, they're mad. So I just used to buy the Callum Chambers, number 21, and no one could tell me shit. That was my Chambers. That wasn't him. Big up to Binks, the first lady of the BBK sports world, Doc Shivers. I swear you men know your stuff, you know. And it makes me feel like I know something because you men, you know, throw curveballs at me all day. Pause. Lots of spin doctors around. The best way to address rhetorical pivots and logical fallacies is breaking it down on some etymological sheet. God damn, Doc. Do I need a dictionary to read your damn comments? Power of the word undefeated. But the thing is, the best way to address the rhetorical pivot is that there isn't time. There always isn't enough time. They'll give them like 30 seconds to respond to a 4-minute rant. If someone rants on for 4 minutes, they're going to say a lot of stuff that you need to reply to, but you only get 30 seconds. So they pivoted away from the key issue, and then you get 30 seconds for a follow-up, and it really doesn't work. So time really limits them. Big up to Pops, man. Listen, it's going to be a great day for me. My Pops tell me in real time that he's proud of me. Yeah, when I'm proud of him. My hero. Big you up, Pops. BBK, you can't. In View's voice, we had to roll letters so you can. Brother, I'm ready for salad. But they play quick and fast. And they're young guys. I play the game at my own pace. You know what I mean? But they know that I can ball. But I got the strength back in the knee, in the quad area. I've been working hard on the leg extension machines. It's just that the area, you know, around. And I don't know if I still got it. You can look at the screen. If anyone can look at the screen right now. Them damn screws, man. Them damn screws in my kneecap. They went all the way through my damn femur. So I guess my old crusty Jamaican bones don't heal quickly. So it's still very tender around. I still can't kneel. You know what I mean? But I thought West Ham or someone had scored. There was some noise there. But yeah, I'm ready, man. Tibbs, no, because Tibbs gets fired. Tibbs got fired from Chicago for underperforming. He brought the Knicks back to a certain level, and then they sacked him. So Arteta is bringing us to a level, and is still not getting sacked. You know, but his rotation packages, like Kenneth Smith said, Tibbs uh, wouldn't play 9 guys in a baseball game. In a baseball game, you have to play 9 guys. But the Knicks man had a 7-man rotation and wasn't playing anyone, and wonder why the man retired. The same way he ran Derrick Rose into the ground, and Joakim Noah, and Nate Robinson. I'm surprised Jimmy Buckets escaped being ran into the ground. Like now, Jimmy Buckets is bringing all that high mileage wear and tear to the Warriors. Because earlier on in his career, Tibbs used to play that boy 48 minutes. Yep, beat him 2-0 comfortably, Blinks. They went up 2-0 and continued to play football. I can't stand the face and the sight of him. It makes me want to puke. Ross in Jamaica, we call this him sick stomach. If someone from Jamaica tells you that you're your sick stomach, that means when they look at you, you make their stomach feel so bad they want to puke. Yeah, so it might not sound like it's a diss or a cuss, but if someone from the native land tells you that, just know that they really, really hate you. You know what I mean? What does that say about us? It says we were timid, we're scared. We went up 2-0. Well, we scored first and let them come on to us. No, Brighton decided we're going to keep playing football. We're going to make you defend us. If you're defending us, your chances of scoring are low. Yep, big up to Bings, man. So the ACL ripped. The ACL ripped on 7 June. But I always had knee problems, and I just, when you're a soldier, you have to do soldier things, and when you're in a leadership position, you got to lead troops. You can't lead them in a cast. So when you feel a little bit of pain there, you push on and you push on and you push yourself. So when the ACL went, when they did the MRI scan and then did the X-ray, they saw other shit wrong in there. And the American Medical Association, when they perform surgeries on you, if they see something else wrong while they're in there, they can't just leave it there. And part of my kneecap had broken off and was just floating around in there. That's where the pain was coming from before the ACL. So they had to fix that. So that's where the damn screws came from. Too much. Yeah. They asked me if I used to drink goat milk and shit. Back in the day. They were like, your bones are tough. So they had to put 4 screws in there to hold the kneecap in place. You know what I mean? Big up to Wahaha, man. I'm going to use that here in DC. Big up, man. Now, people, let me see. What did I pick for the Chelsea Burnley? Yeah, I picked Chelsea to beat Burnley. This one on the screen right now, I got 2, West Ham 2, Bournemouth 2, but I don't know. A draw looks like it might happen because these 2 teams are looking quite toothless. Now, as we look forward to tomorrow, y'all, I got to bring something up on the screen real quick because we do have to discuss the Arsenal. Yeah? Where is it? Trying to pull up the projected lineup that Foot Mob has starting tomorrow. Nope, and it won't fucking load because I have too much stuff loaded. But either way, let me pull it up on the screen extension and look at what Mikel gonna do tomorrow for the London Derby. Now, starting projected lineup, people. I don't have a good feeling about this, right? Back 5 is Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori at left back projected. Of course, it's Raya in goal. But it's midfield that they have listed is the default midfield. Odegaard, Rice, Zubimendi. Don't know how that's going to go. I don't know how that's going to go down if you're Eze. If you're Eze, back in October or whenever we beat Tottenham 4-1, and you were the man of the day, the man of the hour, and all that, I'm sure Eze went back to his room, his dressing room, his locker, wherever he keeps his calendar on his phone or whatever, and circled February 22nd. Tottenham away. Another hat-trick loading. And for Mikel Arteta to take that from him, should Arteta take that opportunity from him to play in this game? I've already said he's lost Eze mentally. If he does this fuckery, He is done. Sorry, Pops, no cursing. If it were Sunday, I'd probably be a little more reserved, but I'm upset because my football club is doing madness. They're not drawing a straight line. They gotta doing the whole zigzag thing. Front line though, it's Saka, Gyökeres, and Trossard. That would say to me that he wasn't a concussion sub, or he has passed the concussion protocol to where he is allowed to play tomorrow. But that could be Martinelli. Our left side is a toss-up. Both have been underwhelming. Martinelli has one Premier League goal, bro. We're in match week 28 or 27. We're playing our 28th game, and one of our wingers, who is on 180K a week, has one Premier League goal against Man City back in October. Listen. Don't tell me about the players. Tell me about the system. Gyökeres, Saka, Trossard projected to start the front line. I'm of the belief that Havertz will be involved in this game somehow. I do. I think Donkey Kong plays a role, y'all. Now, there is no world where I'm starting Martin Odegaard over Eze, especially in this game. In any game in general, this game in particular, not doing it. But the manager wants to. It seems like he has an agenda. And there's none so clear. Right? Right after the damn whistle blew, my brother, Mr. Chambers, your older son, sent me this message. Because my brother is a City fan. Man ain't talked football with me in ages. Man sent me this. And if you're not looking at the screen right now, it's the Premier League title with red ribbons on it. Mikel Arteta on the ground being dragged away by his daddy, Pep. And I couldn't help but think, like, everyone is saying that we're crumbling, and I'm of the opinion that the crumble has already happened. Yep. Think we've crumbled. Think we're done out here. I don't think we have it in us anymore. Squeaky bum time. And I think he fumbles. I think he's going to fumble his lines. I'm not going to lie. So I thought it'd be from the... Nah, man. But I've always heard people who had ACL injuries speak on it and how painful it is. Mine wasn't as painful as I thought or other people describe it. Now, maybe I just have a higher threshold for pain or whatnot, but I plant my left foot to push off after a Cruyff turn, and I could generate no power. And I thought someone had kicked me or something. I looked around, there was no one near me, and I had to sit down because I couldn't. I had no lift. You know, it's mad. But then it started to swell up. I was like, oh shit, something wrong here. Arteta's NBA equivalent to Brad Stevens. Really? Because Brad Stevens coached for a couple of years and then moved up to the front office. And as he has done so well in the front office, they've won an NBA title out of him being an executive. And this year, with their best player out, are still second in the East. Hired as an executive, he hired Ime Udoka, who is a top coach, right? And had he not been busting cheeks of his female assistants, he would have still been there and probably would have won the chip that Joe Mazzulla won. And Brad Stevens had the wherewithal and the smarts to know Ime Udoka to Joe Mazzulla good enough to win to win the NBA title. I'm not sure if we send Mikhail upstairs to do Bertha's job, he can do it. But as a coach, they brought Brad Stevens in after they had traded Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett to the Brooklyn Nets. He was brought in as a rebuild coach and then moved on. So in that sense, I understand what you're saying as a rebuild coach. But if we're going to take a page out of that, then, you know, Arteta needs to be moved on, and then Ime Udoka or Joe Mazzulla is what we need to get us over the line. But I got you, my G. Rehab hurts more than ruptures once you heard that internal tire pop. Once you hear that internal tire pop, you just fall. Everybody, I was sitting there like, and they know I don't dive. So once they saw me sit down, they were like, something wrong with Chief. Then I had to get carried off. I tried to stand up, couldn't. It's like shit, man. Hordy Udoka, I'm sorry. I'm not the man that I was 5 seconds ago. Yeah, Hordy Udoka, clapping cheeks. And there's a college football coach that did the same madness, lost his job. One of the biggest college university football jobs. It is, man, them just cannot, sleeping with your coworkers is the most dangerous shit you can do. That's why we warn Mateo all the time about this chick that he likes, that he keep telling us that the chick likes him. But I really think Mateo really wants that chick. So don't do it, bro. Do not shit where you sleep. Go across town. You know what I mean? If you work at a hospital, don't mess with any of the nurses in your hospital. Go across town. All right? Back in my young days, long time ago, very long time ago, like way back in the day, where I used to chase cheeks. Yeah? Way back then. Black and white TV, yeah? Yeah, back then, I used to go to the other units to go talk to those girls, those female soldiers. I wouldn't look at any of the soldiers in my unit. It's just, it's just cringe, isn't it? But tell you, man, I seen some pics. I seen pics of some head coach party with college chicks. Yeah, they do that. They do that type of stuff, man. Bad. Just keep it 100 with your coworkers, isn't it? Because I just never understood the cringiness of you being a leader, first sergeant, a commander, a squad leader, and there's someone in your formation that you're having sex with. Because it will show. Because when you're leading soldiers, you have to be fair and impartial, right? Whenever the details come up, they ask for 2-3 volunteers to go do some dumb shit. You don't want to volunteer the one that you're going to clap later. And then the other soldiers will realize, be like, damn, Sergeant Chambers always putting us on detail, but you notice he never put PFC, Sweet Cherry on, whatever. And over time, they figure you out. That's how Udoka got figured out. That's how that other college guy got figured out. It's always, they say what's done in the dark will come to the light. Now, let's hope that all the fuckery that Mikel Arteta is doing in the dark football-wise will come to light, and we can all look and be like, okay, this is why he was doing this. Because there is no way. None of the decisions that he is making make football sense. We know this. It don't make a whole lot of football sense. Playing soccer in the 10 while you have a fit 10 who played well midweek is not an intelligent football move. It's dumb as hell. Like, why? It doesn't make sense. That's why he does it. Makes sense in his head because he is a genius. So said by people who have Mikel Arteta Super Mick posters in their room. Grown men, not kids. Grown men like Aaron London have Super Mick Arteta posters in their room. You're like, brother, like, what are you on? I put my dad on a poster. My superhero. But how do you reconcile that as a grown man with a poster? Like in 2026, you're almost 30 years old and you have a poster of Mikel Arteta in your room. And I'm supposed to have a football conversation about this guy. No. Are you going to be objective? No. Because I see Realist Gooner still arguing with Positive Dan about all the dumb shit that he has said this season about invincibles and quadruples, and City will be giving us a guard of honor at the Etihad in Matchweek 33. The only way that will happen is Man City do an implosion. Now, at the beginning of the season, I was one of those people who didn't pick City to win the league. Obviously, it was going to be Liverpool because of the window they had. But I was looking at Man City because Pep came out in an interview unprompted and said Rodri isn't able to play the amount of games that he played last year coming off the ACL injury. And even this week, just this week, it's on Foot Mob now, Pep has admitted that he brought back Rodri too early from injury. So that's the reason why I counted City out. And I walked that back earlier on in the season when I saw how good Nico Gonzalez was playing. And then I see Pep doing the good rotation where Turkey is getting rest, Reinders is getting rest. Now, with 12 games left, watch Pep unleashes everybody. Watch the lineup that comes out in about an hour or so for Man City versus Newcastle. And you're going to look at the bench and you're like, damn, that bench has a lot to come on and really put a hurting on Newcastle. Like Newcastle, they can get a beat down today. This could be bad. Coming off the high that they're coming off midweek sends a false signal that they're this great team and this free-flowing team and all this stuff that they were there to carry a bag away. No. Man City fans woke up this morning. Man City players woke up this morning saying, yep, it's time. Time to do what we do. We're about to do some Man City type shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, I had to a long time ago. I have to go back post 20 years. I have to go back to 01, 02, 03, 04, 05. Because we've been together since 06. So life before 2006 doesn't exist in her head. You know? So that's when my life started. Because that's so way back then. So back in 02, when we used to chase cheeks. Go to the other side of town, man. There was never a reason to mess with any of your coworkers. It's just not a good look. You know what I mean? But what we saying for the game tomorrow, people? Up until this point, I was able to go onto streams and panels to catch up, this, that, and say to man, hey, this negative fan, this toxic and negative fan has always predicted a win in going into every game. But tomorrow, I'm not gonna I went on the Bruce Banana with Shane and Normski and the legends. And when they asked me for my prediction, just based on the Arteta tax by itself, this time of the year, this type of season that we're having, and there's pressure now. The manager coming out, doubling down in this delusion, talking about we're right where we want to be. Who is he talking to? Do people believe this? You want to be, so instead of 9 points clear of Man City, you want to be 2 points clear, having to go to their ground. And he's saying this with a straight face to a room of journalists, people with degrees who follow football. Okay. How many journalists were in the room when he said that? How many? Quite a few, right? So let's just say 20. There may have been 20 journalists in the room. Those journalists that on the modest side have at least 10 years of journalistic experience. So there was over 200, and I'm being very modest with the estimate, over 200 years of experience in the room with him. And they allowed him to say that dumb shit. They allowed him to say, I'd rather be 2 points clear of Man City, 2, rather than being 9. That's a fucker. This is how people know he's lying. I said on the Bruce Banana, shameless plug again for big up Shane Dabrowski. When do you know that Arteta's lying? When his lips are moving. You can tell when other people are lying on the stage when they touch their ear, they rub their forehead when there's no sweat there, they adjust the microphone, they don't look at the person that they're talking to eye to eye. Was he looking all over the place when he said that? Because when you read it, it reads differently. But if I go watch what he's doing and watch his body language, ain't no expert, but you know when people are lying to you as a grown man, innit? But how do they let him get away with saying shit like that? 2 points clear. And you have to go there, and that's better than 9? This is classic gaslighting, is it? Isn't that what it is? Not familiar with what these modern terms means, like, the toxicity and all this other shit. But isn't that what gaslighting is? When you ignore reality and try to convince people that an alternate reality is true. It's like someone tell you that a man can get pregnant and try to gaslight you with modern wokeness. I'm like, nah, no. 2 + 2 will always equal 4. Who is he telling that? So I don't even know what to make of anything that's said anymore because the journalists are compromised. They have no integrity. You know what I mean? 30 likes a Bosh. Big up, man. So you're turning 20 this year. Yeah. I turned 20 in April. April 21st. I turned 20. In her head. He's lying to himself. 100%. Yeah, and he had to get slapped for that. Like, why, brother? Why would you say that? Now you make yourself look just more stupid. Now, the first thing that popped into my head when he said that was, if you all remember, and Wahaha will remember this, right before Ten Hag got sacked, his press conference got a little goofy. His press conferences got a little goofy because he was there talking about he can't do magic, he's not Harry Potter, and all this other shit. Remember? Now, Arteta is out here saying this. This is what pressure can do to a person. When the press conference get all goofy, when you make inflammatory statements, no matter how calm you say it, it's an inflammatory statement when you say you rather be 2 points clear of a damn shark than 9. The guy that's taken 2 Premier League titles away from you, you rather be closer to him than far away. Okay, then you should have thrown the games then, or did you throw the goddamn games, Mikhail? Because you wanted to be closer to City so the guys can be on their toes. No, you want to tell me you don't think you can motivate the players to stay motivated while they're 9 points clear? You don't think you can motivate this bunch to keep their heads on right and not get complacent? Then you're not the leader or the coach that you think you are. Because I'm sitting here saying I want the easiest path to the Champions League final. I want the easiest path to the FA Cup final. Yeah, I want Bristol City or Port Vale in the next round. I don't want this. No. Fuck all that. The path of least resistance. No one will care in the end. None. You know what I mean? So stop lying to yourself. And if he's willing to sit there and lie to a room full of journalists who are paid to ask him questions, then you know he lies to the players. You know he lied to Ethan and told him what he was going to have X, Y, and Z playing time this year, only to loan him out. Could we use Ethan now? Could we have used Ethan against Forest away? Against Brentford and Wolves? Of course we could have. But we don't have him. We made our squad weaker. Me and Gianni and Sammy yesterday talked about this bottle is bigger than the other two. But this bottle, he was credited with having the biggest squad or the best squad. This bottle, Liverpool miles off it. City have given us at least 5 opportunities right off my top of my head. I'm sure there's been more. 5 opportunities to pull away from him, and we didn't. So this one, to the point where Arsenal fans near and far, top gooners, base gooners were saying, from this point, 2 trophies are the minimum. To go from there to not winning any would be the biggest bottle of the 3. 100%. And he knows that. Subconsciously, he knows that. And that's where the pressure is coming from, why he's saying dumb shit like, yeah, this is right where we want to be. No, speak for yourself, Mikhail, right? You might like pain, but I don't. That's why I don't have any tattoos. I only have one. That's my wedding ring. And that shit hurt like hell. Not getting any more. When Arteta asked Butler questions, was that there was murderous intent in the looks he gave the journal. Now, which journal is that? I want to follow that journal. I tell you what, I know who it wasn't. I guarantee you it wasn't Canton or Cotterhill or Watts. Because Watts is writing a book, has written a book about how he revolutionized Arsenal. You know, Canton trying to get him sucked off. So it wasn't him. Cotterhill's a bitch. So this must be someone else. Another fan, a rival. Maybe whoever asked that question is a Chelsea fan. Mikhail, I like you, but you're a liar. Liar. Pants on fire. Yeah. Man's nose is, Pinocchio setting. Way out there. Way out there. I don't know what just happened. I brought my mixer closer to the desk. And my damn sound effects are all queued up wrong on this computer. I don't know what happened there. But big up. Nah, I don't think we win tomorrow, people. I don't. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't think we win tomorrow. I think we draw the game. I don't think the title's gone. It's back to default settings for me of what I picked us to win prior to the season being started. Obviously, I had Liverpool winning, not City, but no, I think they will beat us to it. I just don't think Arteta has it. Well, we know it. But given so many opportunities, Man City playing hot potato with the Premier League title. They demonstrated with 4 draws and a loss in a row that they didn't want it. And we respond in kind with 2 or 3 draws of our own, saying we don't want it either. And one thing you cannot do in this Premier League is dare Pep to take a Premier League title from you. That is stupid. That's about the stupidest thing. It's like speeding past the cop. You can't do that. There are certain things you can't do, man. You can't speed past the cop. You can't play with fire like that. I've learned hard way. You're not talking about being my wife for 20 years. This is how I piss off my wife, right? If I want to piss off my wife, let me pick up my phone, get a text, right? I don't even have to get a text. Let me pick up my phone and laugh at something and put my phone down. Pick up my phone like this, laugh. Oh, shit. Put my phone down and then look at my wife. That pisses her off. Don't know why. She gets upset at anything else or anyone else giving me joy but her. So it could have been a funny reel. It could have been a funny text. It could be something one of y'all sent me that I'm laughing. It could be Wahaha sending me the anesthesia football AI thing from Arteta Ball, and I laugh. She get upset. You know, there's certain things I can't do. One of the things in the world you can't do in football is you cannot dare Man City to take a goddamn Premier League title from you or any trophy. They will do it. Yeah. Remember, Tottenham did this in the EFL Cup final when they sacked Jose right before the final, right? They dared Man City to take an EFL Cup from him, and he took it. We're daring them to take this Premier League title from us. And I think we have given them one dare too many. And they're going to fuck us. They're going to take it. And today, at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock my time, or 8 p.m. UK time, 8:30, half 8, you will watch that first half, and you will see a team that wants to win a Premier League title. And tomorrow, when we play, you will see a team play scared, play timid, a team that's a reflection of their manager. But you're also going to see a reflection of City tonight. And I think they blitz Newcastle. They do. Because they have recent evidence of playing first and putting down the marker and then Arsenal to respond. And how we respond, or the lack thereof, or fail to do. We haven't responded. 2 draws on the bounce to Man City's form. It's not good. Big up to Gianni, man. Man doesn't respect every time. But in preparation for today's game and more other stuff, I'm going to love you. Yeah? Always say. And each other. Until next time, we are
Call me. You want to get your cake? Call me. You want your cheese sticks? Call me. Everyone ready to fire and clap.
I wanna do with the wickedest slam. I need a 1, 2, 3, how a man.
Give me the girl, let me the wickedest slum.